Hi Pisces, welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to do a read for you. And now this will be you and the other person. And the other person could be a significant other. It could be a committed relationship. It could even be a person of interest, even a friend or family member, okay? So just note that, but it's going to be you and the other person. And this will be for all Pisces sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus signs. If you are not sure what those signs are, please check the description box below and then that will help you out. Plug in all your data, it'll pop out your whole astrological chart and then you'll be set. If you're not sure what the exact time of your birth is, plug in 12 noon, okay? And that'll get you going, okay? Especially if you're first time on my channel, okay? If you would like a personal read, go to theguidedintuitive.com. And Pisces, you all have been awesome. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share, and note your comments below. I hope you're shimmying into this new month, at the second half of that and getting much more settled into this new year for 2019. So let's just see what's going to come to the surface as it relates to you and that other person. And that other person is already on your mind right now, so it's probably what brought you to my channel already, okay? So I'm just saying, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is bring the camera down, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so let's do this and see what wants to come up for you here, okay? So, what does Pisces need to be aware of? Pisces need to be aware of as it relates to love life, relationships. What does Pisces need to be aware of? January, this will be January 16th, guys, to the 31st, 2019, okay? So just note that, all right? We're going to cut the cards, and woo, little slippery, all right? All right, here we go. Okay, so we're focusing on the stability right now, okay? So you want a solid relationship as it relates to your partnership or anyone that you have in mind in terms of a love relationship, okay? Now, when it comes to the Four of Pentacles, you want that stability, right? You're totally looking for that. And you also want to make sure that, in terms of that, this could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You're either taking on that energy or that other person that you're dealing with is. But I think this is, you're kind of taking on this energy. This is about stability. This is about security and finding that in yourself. But this is the type of relationship that you want, okay? One that feels safe and secure, financially and all around, okay? So what more do we need to get for you here? Ooh, nice, Pisces. You got the Lovers, okay? So you've got a destined, type of unity here. This is about duality, right? And this is telling me that there is a beautiful partnership that is coming your way if it's not already here, okay? So just note that there is a beautiful union and beautiful love that you have coming into you, okay? So just note that, and you're gonna have to tell me in the comments below. This is quite beautiful, and it's being blessed by the divine, okay? So a very beautiful opportunity if it's not already here right now. So I like to see this, okay? Now, for some reason, you're feeling a little bit, kind of fenced in, okay? Now, this is an 8, which talks about change. So there is a change as it relates to lovers, right? So there is perhaps, something that is, that perhaps that you're feeling maybe a little bit more imprisoned in. Maybe you're feeling a little bit in isolation relating to this love matter. So just keep that in mind. That's what it's kind of coming out here. The swords talk about the air element of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So you might be dealing with one of those signs or taking on this type of energy. But all this is asking you to do is to take a different perspective, okay? This says that you can just, move over to one of those swords, let it cut you, and then move forward. And you've got you're just in a little bit of muddy waters. You're not seeing through the muck, and you need a little bit more clarity. So this is saying is just to really, you've got the full power to lean up against one of those swords and get yourself free and just walk right through, because there's nothing keeping you stuck in here other than your own thinking, thought process, way of doing things that maybe is keeping you in this type of situation in terms of isolation, you know, and that type of thing. So I think it's a way of thinking. You know, the eights, again, talk about change there too. So, and with the swords, it's, you know, there's a reason why you're there, and it's about finding that reason why and looking at things from a different perspective, okay? So whatever, when you see this card, you're going to know what that is. How could you change that into something more positive that's going to feed your soul better? So think of a couple ways that you could flip that around rather than to, you know, kind of remunerate it, you know, consistently round and round and round about this situation, which is going to drive you crazy. Lean up against one of those swords, baby, okay? Let it set you free and let it move through you and find some new ways of thinking through this and get the assistance that you need through this. You know, whether that you're here today, you know, to kind of look on that, or whether, you know, that you're seeking, you know, professional advice, whatever's going to make you feel good, okay? But get out of this. This is what we want to get out of, okay? Looks like you're looking for stability in terms of relationship and balance. Now, you might be feeling a little isolated because you might not have the stability that you want, and maybe that you are, you know, in a situation right now that you're accepting from others, or you could be that you're giving to others. Whatever the case may be, it's quite beautiful. But it is about give and take, which is all balancing out the relationship. So you want a relationship that is not only stable, but that is also balanced. You know, it has a pretty good equal give and take. We know that kind of changes periodically, but you're definitely looking for something like that. Note your comments below, because I'd like to see that. Nice. So what I like about this is that you get the Ace of Swords, meaning you jump from the 8 and then going into the Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning, right? It is a potential new beginning, which I love to see. The Ace of Swords is about power, it's about clarity, and it's a victory, okay? So you're gaining victory over this mindset, whatever is holding you back here, okay? Note your comments below what you got the victory about, because I'd like to see this, because that's what this is. The scales are now becoming level, okay? They're being balanced. But this is, it's going to take a little, it's a potential. It's not complete success, but it's potential for success here. And it's going to take a little bit of work because it's an ace, right? So that's what this is saying. So the swords have got, they're dealing with the Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius type energy. So that could be a person that you're dealing with, or someone that's carrying on that energy, or you're moving forward on this new beginning with this energy, okay? So what other advice can we give you? You're just working really, really hard, and you're focusing on, you know, again, more of that material plane and being, you know, stable, okay? This is the 7, so you've got faith. You've got the faith, which is 7, what talks about that. You've got the faith that the stability will be found if you put the hard work in, and it's going to come through for you, okay? And that's what the card wants to let you know. So very beautiful. You're not going to be left out in the cold, okay? And that's what's bringing about here is, you know, you're building your stability so you won't be left out in the cold anymore, okay? And that's why you're focusing on this new potential and working hard on this relationship. There's going to be a judgment. You know, the universe is going to come down with a particular judgment for resurrection and a new beginning for you here, okay? Quite beautiful, okay? Very, very beautiful. And when I see the judgment, it's also talking about an absolution of a decision. So whatever decision is made here is going to be firm and set in stone. It's not going back and not going anywhere. You know, whatever it is that you do is set in stone and moving forward. And whatever that decision is, okay? It could be that you're making a decision not to go back to this, being trapped in here and having this old way of thinking. You want to focus on your rewards and this opportunity by working hard, okay? And this has to do with a relationship. So you're probably, judgment's coming in, and so you're not going back anymore, okay? So let's move on to this other person. This other person's got the Chariot card, okay? So interesting. Now the Chariot is about having control and willpower, as it relates to moving forward in a relationship, okay? It's a 7 up here, so it does talk about, having faith, right? It's all about, having that faith and being able to move forward. I like to see this because it's a major arcana, and so this person wants to drive that, his or her life in the direction with their willpower and control the best that they can to level things out a little bit, okay? Now there's going to be, in doing so, this person gets a lot of recognition. People are noticing this other person, okay? The Wands energy is, you know, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So it's about passion, creativity, energy, and, you know, that type of thing. And it's other people are noticing this person. So they might, you know, they might be very popular. They might, you know, people might be, you know, might be aware of them or know them, you know, kind of that type of thing, but they're very well recognized. So it could be, you know, someone like that that's either famous, could be, you know, YouTuber or something like that, but they're being recognized for the hard work that they're putting into what that they're doing. But also very much well could be success in terms of a relationship. You know, because they are putting in the hard work, okay? The next card we get is the King of Swords, and the Kings are about authority, right? And then the Swords are talking about being very clear thinking and intellectual. This person, you know, thinks in the head a lot. They're in their head a lot, and they focus and they make decisions on their, you know, with their head, and they cut things out that might not, you know, any longer serve a real purpose in their life if that's how they see fit. Now, they are looked for in authority, so that people may come to them for authority, you know, for their advice and seek advice. This person is now being asked to focus on one thing at a time and to take some rest, okay? It's still about the air quality. Again, it's more of the swords. We've got air here, and then we also have got fire here, you know, too. So it's quite interesting, but, you know, you're going to know how this resonates, but this particular other person is taking a time out. They are, you're praying and making sure that they are moving forward and making the right decisions as it relates to love. And even though that they might have a lot of suitors, they need to focus on one particular suitor at the time, and they're gaining, you know, kind of that advice on what that would look like for them. But they're definitely taking a time out to gain some sort of stability so they can make the best decision possible relating to love. And it looks like that they end up walking away what no longer serves them, even though they put a lot of love, time, and effort and work into a, you know, particular relationship. They knew that it was time to make a decision to leave, and if that was the case, and it takes strength to move forward after putting so much work, you know, especially when this reaches, you know, what is this, the 8? Yeah, so this is the 8 of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So Pisces, you might have been dealing with another, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, a fellow sign. And this person may have just walked away, you know, maybe, you know, it could have been something like that, you know, onto a new particular situation, or, you know, they're walking away from something that emotionally doesn't make them feel good, okay? You know, could have been a past relationship of some sort. But they're moving forward, and they're moving forward with passion, and they're moving forward very, very fast. There is a lot of passion, desire, and when they move forward, it's going to go twice as fast for them. You know, what didn't work out before works almost twice as fast as they continue to move forward. And being the 8, it is about change, right? And being that the Wands, it's about, you know, creativity. It's about travel, change. It's about movement is taking place for this person in the love life. So they're wanting change. They want something better. And they know that, you know, that in the past, maybe they've juggled a couple, you know, things, and they've had to keep their balance, you know, or if they had 2 people, that could have been the case. But these are more earth signs, so it's kind of like, you know, focusing on the coins, the material plane, and keeping their emotions in check with also their intellect. So making sure that things aren't always just, decisions in love aren't just based upon the mind, but are also focused on the emotions as well as, you know, the material plane as well. So spiritual plane, you know, emotions, and then also in the head. So they're actually balancing this out a little bit better. Could very much well, that might land for someone out there, okay? And that's a 2, which is duality, right? And it's about balance and adapting to, you know, using their emotions and not just their intellect. And you might know how that resonates, Pisces. Anything else? Okay. Then there's an opportunity of love that comes their way, you know, whether that they're getting that from you, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or it's something that they're delivering over to you. But it is a page, okay? Keep in mind, pages are messages, right? And it's about an energy, you know, it's about, you know, maybe some sort of synchronicity and creativity that comes into play. but this is an opportunity for love and to move forward in love. So it's quite beautiful. You get the Ace of Swords. You also get a new beginning for stability and that type of thing. It's like you're like, this person is balancing their head and their emotions better. And they probably had a couple suitors, you know, previously and lost out on one, but then wants a new beginning. And then for you, it's like maybe, you know, perhaps that you were perhaps tied up in a struggle and a conflict, you know, and you want a stable love, you know, new relationship, and you're finding that you've got this new beginning, and you know that if you work hard on it, it's going to come through. And it's going to come through with you with this Ace of Swords, and it'll be balancing of scales. So that's quite beautiful. Well, let's see what's going to help you in this process with this person. What do you need to concentrate on, Pisces, relating to this particular person? Relationships, okay? So what this is telling me is that it's focusing on making sure that you're attracted to only those people who serve your higher good. So those that don't serve you, you know, perhaps you're going to walk away from. Maybe this person experienced you walking away, because that could very much well be. Again, it's Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So if you're dating another air sign, or this has to do with an air sign, or, you know, this other person is that, it could go vice versa. But you are only allowing those that serve your higher good in your life, and that's what's going to get you onto the right track. To this opportunity of this Ace of Swords, so you won't be left out in the cold anymore. You're focusing on those that serve your highest good, and you're getting rid of negative thoughts. Okay, what else is going to help you? Gratitude. Just being thankful for all the opportunities that come into your life, Pisces, right? And, you know, just really being able to do that, and all the beautiful love that could come into your life as well. I think it's quite beautiful, okay? But this is saying is that you're thankful for this life and the opportunities that it definitely presents for you. What else will help you? That's just going to lead to your happiness, really. It's so beautiful. You know that you're on the right path on love when you're happy, right? When you're feeling good and things are flowing, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have arguments and things like that that take place and differences of opinions. Yes, that will happen. But you're going to have just beautiful happiness if you focus on those that serve your highest good and thankful for the opportunities that present themselves. And that just encourages that joyful happiness frequency to move through you and attract others, you know, as well. What about this other person? What is it that they need to be aware of? Honesty. So what they need to focus on is not only expect honesty from themselves, even though they can't always expect honesty from others. You know, perhaps that they, you know, this other person in the past had to walk away because something, you know, wasn't fair for them. You know, they felt that maybe something wasn't working out for them in the past. And that's what really kind of maybe brought them in their head in the first place to make head decisions. But they know they couldn't stay in the head, right? And they had to really ask for guidance, you know, in terms of how they're going to move forward, you know, after something like this. So, and then they get some swift communication. They continue to work, and some swift communication comes in, and the higher, you know, helping them balance a little bit, and then they get this new opportunity that comes through. And this is your sign coming through. I don't know if you're delivering it or they're delivering it, but there you have it. All right. Let's see what else guidance that they could get. Acceptance. They're learning to accept the things that they can't change, right? That probably, you know, here that made them say, hey, listen, I can't change this. I've done what I can. I got to walk away. And they're learning that acceptance is a big part of their growth in terms of moving forward. So they're really, you know, as they pray to the divine in here, and to focus on that and focus on themselves, they're realizing that they're getting this type of communication that's coming to them. It's going to help them in their love life. And it's also service. They feel good when they're helping others, so they might be focusing on how ways that they could help and be of service, you know, to others as it pertains, you know, in their life to serve the greater good, as well as themselves, and in their love life and feel really, really good. So this is interesting. You're going to have to let me know how this resonates, because it could be at the very, very end that something kind of takes place. You know, you're going to have to let me know. Now, what would you like to say to this person And Pisces, and what would this other person like to say to you? Okay. So what does Pisces, what does Pisces, what happened to Pisces? What does Pisces want to say to this other person? Universe, what guidance can we give them to help them verbalize to this other person? Okay, let's go ahead and cut the cards. Okay, the card we get is, I'm in knots. I'm afraid to tell you my truth, and it's a horrible feeling that I have to humor you. Wow. See, take a look at this. Okay. All right. So you've just been afraid to appear that you might be disloyal or unsupportive or insensitive, but humoring your partner at this time is killing you. Okay, so this is what you want to say, is that you really are in knots and you want to tell the truth, and you don't want to have to humor the other person. You really want to tell them the truth. So that's quite interesting. What does this other person, Pisces, want to say to you? Let me know in the comments if that resonates. It's kind of an interesting card. Are you afraid to tell your truth to your partner or to this person here? Because it's just, you know, not positive. It may not sit right with them, but it is your truth. Sometimes you have to say that for the benefit of both of you. So let's go ahead and cut the cards and see what we get. So what this other person would like to say to you, Pisces, is that you are so upset, I probably don't fully understand my impact on you. Please tell me. I want to understand. Okay? So this person does want to understand. And so maybe by opening the fact that you are and sharing your truth with this other person with compassion and respect, this person is able to in turn say, you know, I can see that you were upset about that. I really didn't understand my impact on you on that. Please tell me. I truly want to understand. So I hope this resonates with you, Pisces, in some way, shape, or form. And until February, namaste.